We have a big problem in the West, and it's not just the West, let me tell you, it's starting to become the rest of the world, thanks to social media and some agendas that are very fear-based. Now, for the first time in history, it seems like we have a society of people that are beginning to devolve rather than evolve. And the generation below me, my generation also included in this, are the first ones to just be born into this world where you are in constant anxiety, threat, and fear, when it really doesn't have to be this way. Now, the things I lay out here are not the only issues, but I have realized one of the big ones. And so in this video, I'm going to hopefully liberate your mind from the bondage of the marketing agenda, and also then bring yourself into a deeply spirit-filled state of being inside of yourself, or at least show you how to get there, so that you can begin realizing that believing this stuff is an option, and actually peace is your birthright, and joy is your birthright, and hopefully one damn human at a time, we can get ourselves evolving again. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this yet, whether it be on social media, whether it be at the bus stop, whether it be at the train station, whether it be a billboard in the center of London, Dubai, New York, wherever. There are many different marketing ploys, aren't there? On these billboards, you see these gorgeous women or these gorgeous men, and what they're doing or holding is a product. And what that's trying to tell you is, if you buy this product, you can be just like me, absolutely freaking gorgeous. And then everybody on social media will love you, and you'll be popular, famous, and happy. Let me tell you, if you get those things, you will not be any of those things. It will be a temporary little, oh yes, exciting, and then it will corrupt you. Sorry, a bit of a heavy start, really, isn't it? But what I'm endeavoring to show you right now is that the problem in our lives is marketing. Everybody wants to look good. And how they're selling you products is through fear. What they're telling you constantly, and it's everywhere, is you're ugly. But if you give us a little bit of money for this cream, for this serum, that by the way has acid on it, and you're going to put it on your face, and a load of other stuff that probably shouldn't go anywhere near the human body and is completely unnatural. But if you just give us a little bit of money, we'll give you some acid you can put on your face and you'll be beautiful. And then you'll have everything you ever want. See, it's fear that's controlling us. And this doesn't stop on the billboards, does it? Have you seen the geopolitical sphere lately? Yeah, it's been working like that for millennia. And these things are starting to crumble, thank God. We've got a bit more pain to come though. But we have to wake up out of these fear-based agendas, because they're here to oppress us, suppress us, make us miserable, and make us believe that we can spend money to make ourselves beautiful, happy, joyous, blissful. And I'm telling you right now, this is not the answer. But if you still believe this is the answer, totally okay, love you loads. Big kiss from me. This channel isn't for you. Because here, we're trying to liberate your damn soul. So, this doesn't end here with the marketing. This makes an imprint on our mind, doesn't it? On our mental field. And we start thinking, oh gosh, I'm not as beautiful as that girl, or I'm not as beautiful as that boy. I wonder if I can do something about that to make myself feel beautiful, because apparently looking beautiful in the external world is the only way to have beauty or feel connected to beauty. But it's also come into our mental field, and we're socially anxious, aren't we? As a generation, we're constantly comparing ourselves against each other by how we look, by how we feel, by the amount of money that we have. We've even got this super YouTube hype culture where we're all going to work ourselves into the ground. It's all very American. So how have we got to this state? How have we managed to give our power away to multinational corporations that do not have our best interests at heart, that just want to make money? Well, fear is one of the agendas that have been at play here, but also we were only able to give our power away because in the first instance, we lost the connection to ourself, to our stillness, to our spirit. Now, to really understand this on a fundamental level, we need to understand a big key difference, and that's the difference between feeling versus feelings. Feelings. What do you think the difference is between feeling and feelings? Well, this is quite intricate, so we'll go step by step. Feelings are temporary, aren't they? Could be, well, fear is a feeling. Joy is also a feeling. Sadness, feeling. So our feelings are our emotions, are these temporary expressions of consciousness that come and that go. What do they come and go in? Well, they come and go in stillness, isn't it? If you just come to the root of your being and just feel that subtle vibratory hum in the inner body, you can tell this is the ground of my being. Oh, it's peaceful. It's quiet, nice. If I was to have an emotion, feelings, that would come up in my stillness, wouldn't it? Now, it might seem like it takes you out of stillness. This isn't fully correct, but we'll deal with that on another video. So that's our feelings, temporary expressions of consciousness that arise and fall in stillness. All right, so what's feeling then? Well, when I ask a lot of my students this question, they believe feeling is relational. And what I mean by that is we feel. I feel my feelings. There's an I and there's a relationship, and I'm the one feeling, isn't it? But this isn't what I mean by feeling. Have you noticed if you connect to your stillness, there's a felt quality there? That subtle vibratory hum of the inner body feeling is felt. It's feeling. So to really pull ourselves away from this narrative and the fear-based stuff in the mind that we've been brainwashed with, we have to transition from feelings being the biggest reality for us to feeling being the biggest reality for us, because feeling is stillness, and stillness is the ground of our being. It's that which feelings like fear, like joy, like sadness, temporarily arise and fall in. Good. Because if we're saying that feelings is a temporary expression of something that comes and goes in our stillness, well, then we would have to also say that the mind is also feelings, isn't it? The mind comes up in my stillness and leaves stillness. And what I'm left with is stillness, is feeling. It arises and falls in the background awareness of feeling. The mind is where our big problem is right now in humanity's current level of conscious development, isn't it? Because in the mind, we have this voice, the me, the I, the ego, the separate sense of self. Oh, if it's separate, what is it separate from? Well, it's separate from the real me, stillness, isn't it? The ground of my being, the root of me, my true nature is stillness. The mind appears in that. Okay, so that me, that separate sense of self, it has lots of stories. It has lots of narratives that it's been drilled into by life, by multinational corporations and their fear-based agenda to extract money from us so that we look better, feel better, be happier, blah, 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 blah. It's a con. But the mind does have this interesting dynamic, doesn't it? Because that me in the mind has a view of itself through its own insecurity based on what it thinks other people are thinking about me. Mainly what the mind thinks other people are thinking about me from an insecure lens. Oh, that person hates me. Oh, that person thinks I'm ugly. Oh, God, I'm so... And then it carries on and on. I'm so ugly, isn't it? Gosh, if only I had a serum with acid in it that I could put on my face. That might work to make me feel better. But here's what's important, because that outward perception of I or me is where our insecurity lies, where I'm having a story in my mind that believes through my own insecurity that you are thinking something negative or bad about me, when most likely you aren't. So if we're going to overcome insecurity by becoming so grounded in our spirit-filled nature that feels great, that feels peaceful, that's baseline is peace, of subtle joy, of subtle yet all rightness inside, then we're going to have to remove this aspect of ourself, aren't we? Because this is the one that separates us from our stillness, makes us think of what other people are thinking about me from that external perspective through the lens of fear and insecurity. So how can we do that? A very extreme version of this is shave your head. We have a really good group of yogis that have been with me for about 4 or 5 years now, most of them. And they're about to go through a process called brahmacharya. And brahmacharya just essentially means conserving your energy. It is essentially monkhood light, if you like. And they're going to shave their head. And the reason why they're shaving their head is so that they can reset that social matrix in their mind. If I shave my head, which I have done in the past, then I begin to change the way that I'm relating to people, and I update and I become almost invisible. Because the outward perception of I is always thinking to itself, I wonder how I look for him. I wonder how I look for her. I wonder what she's thinking about the way I look. If you shave your head, you become very vulnerable, very invisible. And in doing so, this outward perception of I begins to dissolve. Why? Because you're not thinking about what Sally's thinking about how you look, because you've shaved your head. So you know that you're not thinking, oh, I must look amazing. No, you're just naked, human and naked, isn't it? So this is a very extreme version of how to do this. Don't recommend that for everybody. But a less aggressive version, and something that we can all attain, is coming into our stillness and remaining so deeply ingrained in our stillness that we refuse to have or buy into any thoughts that go outside of myself in this outward perception of I, because I'm so deep in my feeling that I'm no longer needing to think with my mind and ruminate around the fear-based lenses that are still within me. You see? So in this way, we become so spirit-filled that insecurity, which is born of the mind, can no longer touch us, because we're in feeling, not feelings, isn't it? So if you want a way in order to be able to increase the level of intensity of deep feeling, of that dynamic stillness, of that subtle vibratory hum, so that that inner aliveness feeling comes more and more alive in you, then you need sadhana. Now, sadhana is your daily spiritual practice that in the yogic tradition would be yoga. Yoga doesn't mean the physical postures of yoga, although that's an aspect of it. And if you do want to try some sadhana, you're more than welcome to jump on my channel. I didn't want any barriers to entry. It's all free on there. But if you do want to take a deeper dive, you can sign up for level 0 of the Freedom Blueprint. And that's going to give you an initiatory process. And again, also totally free, by the way, initiatory process into this, how to connect to this, and how to never leave again, so that you're so spirit-filled that you're no longer insecure, because insecurity is born of the mind. This is the game. Yoga means to yoke. Yoke is unify. What are we unifying? We're unifying that separate sense of self, the ego in the mind, and we're absorbing it, yoking it into our stillness, so that our stillness is all that remains. And in stillness, that can be the portal to bliss. Takes time, but that's the portal to bliss, because that's also our natural state. We just have to remove all of the lenses of fear that have been marketed into us, so that we can actually feel that natural radiance of our soul. And let me tell you, that is where inner beauty really lies. It's a different texture of beauty, but it's a beauty that's not personal, you see. So I hope this video helped. And if you want to spend some more time breaking down the patterns of the mind, then YouTube reckons that this video right here will be a great next step for you.